figure out what the directions are. Hang on. Let's see how audio sounds. I don't know how it's going to sound. We'll give it a second. Yeah, I did something wrong. So, if you don't type the right URL in, it's not going to work. Alright, let's see. Size. So I'm going to be going back and forth. This is just kind of having some company while I'm putting this thing together. So we recently received an X-Carve, and so we're getting it together. So far I've got the base together. It's not a whole lot to that. There's, let me move some of this and I'll show you. I'm not sure how audio is right now either, so if somebody's on, let me know. But anyways, probably need to move the mic a little bit. But yeah, so the way this works, right? So it's kind of a nice setup. You got the extruded rails. This forms the base. You know, it's got the little brackets in here to square everything up. There's 144 of these little screws to put in. These are tapped so that this waste board here gives you something to screw into and have something, so they're nuts basically, I guess, is what they are. And so it's pretty good. You just check the computer here. The computer's kind of far away. Alright. Wow. Got more people around than I thought we had. You know what, I'm going to change where the microphone is. Hopefully that's not in the view of the camera, but we'll see. Alright. So, what I'm working on now, I got to figure out what's the next step. So we got the base on, we got this together. And so they don't send instructions. And I believe that's because this changes over time, right? It gives them a chance to actually go through and make adjustments, you know, tweak things like that. Plus, they don't have to print things. When they find a typo, they just fix it. It's fixed for everybody immediately. So they give you a website. And of course, my computer is way over there. And rather than walk back and forth looking at this stuff all the time, I'll do this. Now, chat is over there, so if you guys are leaving messages, I'm going to have to check that back and forth periodically, but for right now we'll do that. So it says that once we've got this base done, the next step is the gantry. So let's click on that link. So we need to find some side plates. Now behind me, and yeah, it doesn't look like you can see that on the camera, but I've got everything set. I've got it all, you know, laid out here behind me. They do provide tools with this, which was kind of nice. Yeah, so there's clamp set. Here's the mount for the router. The fancy DeWalt 611 router. Hardware kits. The stuffer motors. Right? It's packed very well, you know, overall, I think. So I'm guessing that what I need right now is this. So I'm going to walk away for just a second, so I can read what this says on here. Area, sound's not too bad, bit of echo, yeah, okay. Good, alright, excellent. Hopefully it's not too bad. This is a big open shop. As I get more stuff in here, I suspect it'll get a little bit better. I'm supposed to be, let me double check to make sure I'm still using the Rode mic, just to be sure. I'm not, that's why. Okay, let's do a check on audio now. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, let me know how audio sounds now. It looks like I wasn't using the correct microphone, so I should be using the right microphone now. I've got the Rode mic. Okay, so got a box labeled core components. Wow, that's pretty nice. Looks like this is like a channel extrude, like an extrusion. They cut it off, but it's pretty nice. Lots more parts here. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's the thing about this is there's a lot of parts. So these are the plates that we're looking for. It's the Gantry side plates. So yeah, Gantry side plates. So these will run along, I think it'll go this way. I could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see. But either way, we'll figure it out. Yeah, Gantry side plates. So we're gonna build these next. I might move the camera. I've got limited space on how far I can move that webcam. How does it look? That's a cooked dinner. Nice. Okay. Chuck, you can cook dinner for me anytime you want, buddy. I'd be happy to have that, have a meal cooked by you. I've seen your cooking, sir. It's good. I just haven't had the chance to taste it. All right, let's figure out what Z-axis motor plate, maker slide side end plates. So this is the fun part. So lots and lots and lots more parts. Lubricant, jug. Right, okay. Assemble Gantry side plates. Oh boy. I don't know how long I'm going to stay live on this thing, I'll be honest with you. Because in looking at these instructions, you guys are going to be bored out of your minds as I fuddle my way through this. There are an awful lot of parts to this. So did you guys see the Instagram photo I posted of the kids helping put all the screws in? It's 144 screws in this waste cord, or the little nuts they do. So self-tapping screws from the inside, but they are threaded internally, so they become the nut for the clamping kit. This must be for Z-axis. So yeah, I actually had Henry up on top of here, you know, like laying down, working it. Little, I guess it's 5mm Allen wrenches. They'd say, hey, you really ought to use a drill when you put these in. It'll make it go much, much faster. Oh, but we don't include the 5mm bit that you need. Because everybody's got a 5mm socket drive for their drill, right? Yeah. Okay. So, Gantry side plates hold various wheels, brackets, and motors. Mirror image of each other. Right. There's a lot of stuff. they're mirror image of each other, but when they cut them, or I guess these are probably stamped, they definitely stamped them the same way, because there's a, no, they're laser cut. Because they didn't quite get all of the dross off the back, so there's a slight burr on one side. Now here's the thing, most people will never ever notice that, but because I run a plasma table, I look for stupid stuff like that. So yeah, so yeah, when we put these together, we're gonna, you know, obviously they're gonna sit like this, and so you want them facing each other, mirrored when you're putting them together. Don't put them together the exact same way, because you'll have one pointing the right way and one backwards. All right, so first step, attach fixed wheels. Oh guys, I don't know if I want to keep you on for this. This is just, you guys are gonna be bored out of your minds as I sort through all this hardware trying to figure out which parts I'm supposed to use. Now the nice part about all this is every baggie of parts is very clearly labeled, saying X-Carve on it. And then smaller text underneath it, it tells you smooth out of their kits and then the part number and the quantity, right? So in the directions, they give you the SKU, they give you the part number. Like I need 4 button head cap screws, they're M5 by 25, and the SKU on it's 25286-43. So if I were to find the 2528, yep. So here's the baggie of that, right? So I know I'm gonna need these. And 5 flat washers, right? Got that. V assembly. It's these, this baggie of 20 of them here. And then nylon insert lock nuts, M5. Well, let's find what looks like some lock nuts to us. Anybody else see the spacers? Lock nuts. Okay, so here's the 4 baggies of parts that we need for this step. Before I do that, let's see how things are going. Yeah, Chuck, I hope you had a, thanks for checking in. I don't know if you're still on, if you've already left or not, but you know, it's always nice to see you on here. I appreciate that. Does audio sound any better, guys? Sorry, I meant to ask that earlier. Let's see. Burgers, that looks good. Okay, good run. Wow. You guys were having fun without me. I need, you know what I need? I need like an iPad or something that I can have set up over here and be able to do that. That's the hard part about trying to run some of these live streams in a big area. My computer's way over there. I don't have the laptop in here. I've got a desktop machine in here that I do everything from. So, yeah, I do all my drawing and CAD CAM kind of stuff in here. So, the big super machine. We'll see if you guys get to hear my critters tonight. I have found that I host a couple of squirrels and at least one mouse occasionally. So, we'll see. A lot of times they're just running on top, but all right. So there, I gotta get these out. We need 4 each of these. 2, 3, 4. Quinn, I ought to just promote you and make you a moderator and have you take care of all the fun stuff. Now what I can do actually with this setup is I can set it up to have remote, I can have remote people on the session. And so if we wanted to, I could have a couple other folks join in. And I think you might have seen, I don't know if you guys have been following this for a while or not, but Stan and I did that the one time. I was, what was I painting? Oh, I was doing Brad's sign. I was doing the Maple Lane sign, and I was doing the paint and Stan. So now I wanted to check a couple of things while we're doing this too, because we're. Can you see that? I'm trying to look on there. You kind of see it. So Dan Windusky? I know I butchered your last name. So, anyways, I've got a new point-to-point network in here, going from the shop to the house. Dan provided that. He helped me out on that and getting it configured and getting it set up. So we've got new networking in here. There's the new 4K webcam, the Rode mic. So all the things that we're doing to try and get set up and prepping for the bash, which, you know, talking about Stan and having Stan join me, kind of jogged my memory on that. So yeah, anyways, so had me thinking about that. Now, if I'm just looking at pictures, it says insert the bolt into one of the smaller V-wheel holes and put on a washer, followed by V-wheel. Screw. Right, so washer. So that's pretty much what I was doing anyways, because it just makes sense. Oh, that's interesting. These are oh, they're all like that too. I've never seen wheels like this or bearings like this. They're captive or spring. That's interesting. I don't know if you guys have seen. We'll see if I'll get closer. See if you guys can actually see this or not. I don't know if you guys can see through there or not. Right, but it's tight, and I'm taking the hex key, and I can adjust, move it. But I've definitely not seen that before. So if anybody knows what that's about, let me know in the comments. And these are nylock, of course. Okay, this seems awfully long, like 25 millimeters. These seem awfully long for this setup, but that's what it's showing. Yeah, oh, I think I mentioned this, that they provide all the tools that you need. They're incredibly high quality. Yeah, I hope you guys catch the sarcasm there, but you know what? They're not bad. They provide the tools, so if you don't have tools, they're providing them for you. So that's nice. I'm using them because I'm still splitting time between the two shops. As you can probably tell from the space here, I have not actually finished moving. So hopefully I'll get to do some of that over the holidays here, get some of the equipment moved. Should be helpful because right now I'm having to run between multiple locations just to get anything done. And these are nylock nuts on here, so I'm not gronking down on it terribly hard. It's just to snug it up. That's even like it shows in the picture. So there we are. There's one side. Step one done of that one side. I gotta do it again on the other side. And keep on moving. So let's keep everything oriented the same way. Probably see about giving you guys a better camera angle. To do that, I will likely have to turn the camera off long enough to unplug it, plug in the USB extension I have, and then I can probably bring it in closer. I might being the operative word, might be able to actually use that remote setup and use my phone to give you another angle as well. I've never done that before, not on the phone at least, so I'd have to, we'd be flying blind, folks. So I don't know, we'll see. This is rather awkward to do, if you guys couldn't tell already. All right. So far, I'm just thinking about the things that I've seen online about this install. It's actually not that bad. I've heard a lot of people complain about doing this stuff, or that it's too complicated. I don't know, maybe it's because I actually tend to be a little more mechanically inclined than most folks. I don't know. We'll see. But next step, adjustable V-wheels. Oh my goodness, there's like 52 steps for each part. I'm gonna step away for a second. Check on chat. Dinner time, check back, and get easier when you get 50. Oh, Reed. Hey, buddy, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Reed. All right, so there's that. Attach the adjustable V-wheels. Right, so now we need the 30 millimeter. There's a 35. 30s. Okay, so we need 30s. And we'll put these back. We need eccentric spacers. We got the eccentric spacers. We need washer, nut. Yeah, that's the only difference. All right. So, where do we attach these things? All right, so we know we need 4 of these. So let's get our 4 bolts out. And we'll need 4 spacers. 4 spacers. I don't know, what do you guys think? How many of you have done this before? So you've got an X-Carve, you've put these together. I've seen some of the early reviews, and that's the fun part about having one of these later on, is presumably they have gotten a lot better over time. You know, they've worked out the kinks of some of the original installs. Things should fit better, better instructions. We'll see. Presumably, right? All right. So it says, take one 30 millimeter bolt. Put the spacers on. Now it does have a direction to the spacer. The spacer, we'll come over here for a second. The spacers have a shoulder on it, right? So, and if you look at it, you can see so that's the eccentric spacer. And so you want the shoulder away from the head of the nut. Or I'm sorry, of the bolt, right? So it's going to go bolts, then you've got your hex portion, then the shoulder, right? And then, oh, okay, so it looks like it goes in that bottom corner here. And so that shoulder is going to ride in the hole itself. And so that should probably let you tension it, I would think. That would be what I would think there is, that you can adjust your tension. All right, so this is a rinse and repeat 4 times kind of thing. Pretty soon I'm gonna have to go look at those chat messages again, see what you guys are writing, figure out who's writing War and Peace over there. I know how you guys are. I've seen you before. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I'm actually pretty impressed with the folks who are typically on the channel here. I have to admit, the quality of the feedback that I tend to get is pretty darn high. So yeah, Merry Christmas. Okay, so the trick on this one would be to keep it in that shoulder. We'll keep the shoulder in the frame while you tighten it up. Alright, so because if it's not in there, if it backs out or something, then you're just pinching it. So it wouldn't help. And again, just snugging it, right? You're not trying to make it super tight. There we go. We got that one in there. This one is proving a little more difficult to hold. It's doing it, but there we go. Straightening out. Snugged up. One side done. That's still moving freely. So I'm going to finish this, and then I'm going to check on chat and see how you guys are doing. The best part is when you're just having your own conversations. I love coming back and seeing that, right? How many of you, how many folks actually, you get to know each other in this community, right? You end up talking to one another through YouTube or whatever. Some people actually get to meet in person, but it's pretty darn cool. Who would have thought? This one is not playing nice, I can tell you that right now. So I don't know if this hole is a little off or the shoulder's a little off, or if the end user, the guy mucking with the wrench, is a little off. That was muck with an M. You know how you guys are. Alright, it's seated. So, that part's done. Shoulder plate, rinse and repeat. And then there's idler wheels to do. So, let's see. How's this looking? Check back, dinner. One bite at a time. Zach, buddy. All right. Okay. Zach. Oh man, Zach. I tell you what. Where are they? I brought them out here the other night. Zach hooked me up. Man. I don't know where I put them. Those cutters you sent are awesome. Thank you. Okay, anyways. They're over on the desk. Okay, good. I had to move this stuff, so I had the kids in here earlier, and that's one of the challenges. I don't know if any of you guys saw, or if I don't know if I talked about this, but shortly after we started moving stuff in here, Henry hurt himself real bad. He pulled the project bike down on top of himself, and he basically pinched off a portion of his finger. Now, the kid loves being in here. He doesn't want to ever leave, right? He wants to be in the shop. He wants to be working. And he's still fearless, as you guys might have seen from that Instagram post. But he's a little skittish around the bike now, that's for sure. So, that's one of the challenges of having this kind of stuff around the house, right? Around the kids, is doing so in a way that's safe, right? So, knee-jerk reaction of any parent at that point is to lock everything up. Right? Well, the second you put everything out of reach like that, all it does is make them want to do it even more, and they're going to try and sneak it in and do it when you're not around, which is even less safe, right? So, working on safety at all times, and one of the things is, well, if I've got these sharp cutters laying around, I can't have them out when the little guy's there, so I've been putting everything away. So, anyways, idler wheels are next. Now, I saw those smooth idler kits. Guessing that's these, but we'll see. Attach idler wheels. Now, the idler wheels, it looks like they go basically here, right? Just below the opening for the motor. The stepper motors. So let's see. We're still using the 30 millimeter button heads. We've got the smooth idler pulley assembly. I'm assuming that's these. It says pulley kit. 251970. Yep, that's it. The spacers. That's the M512. Nope, not this one. Aluminum spacer. 25312-23. Oh, spacer. Is that the eccentric spacers? No. Washer. Button head cap screw. Long eccentrics. Uh-oh. So these are the washers we've been using. Oh, here we go. Spacers. 25312-23. Alright. And then the nylock nuts. So we have 4 components, 4 things each. Okay, good. Uh-oh, this one opened up already. So, the difference between the wheels. That's pretty clear. And there's an offset on where the bearings are, right? So the idler wheels are different in that these wheels that we've been installing are V-groove, right? So they're obviously going to ride on an edge. The idler wheels are big flat, like they're belt pulleys. The bearings, there's no difference on the side on the V wheels, right? What is the right word for it? Symmetric, and these idler pulleys are not, right? So at least not the way they came from the. Yeah, it doesn't look like it in the picture either. So they're going to go with the protruding side down. So it looks like, all right, so we got 4 of those. Let's get these out. We'll get our parts laid out and then we'll get back to it. And then I'm going to make, so the pattern I've been doing so far with you guys is I do 1 set of the instructions, babbling the entire time. And then I check the chat. I don't know what's going on over there, but it looks like there's stuff. 3, 4, and then I come back and babble some more. Stay awake. 3, 4. Okay, good. There's that. Attach that, do that, through there. Ooh, okay, so it's a little different. So in these, I'll look at this more closely. They do have really nice pictures, which is good, right? And you can zoom in on the pictures and all kinds of stuff. So I was right on where I thought the idlers go. So bolt first through the plate, and we drop in our spacers. Then we drop in the idlers. Now remember, they're going to go with the bearing side down, right? And then we're going to put the nylock washers. Now, is nylock a brand name, or is that just because it has the nylon lock washers? Kind of wonder. I really don't know. See, this one had that little weirdness about it as well. The other ones didn't. I think what it is they've got like a washer. So it's actually 2 bearings. My guess is it's 2 bearings separated by a washer, so that the thrust between the 2 rides on the race. The inner race, if I had to guess. But, I don't know, we'll see. This feels weird, I keep looking down. I'm so used to always looking at the camera or at people, and I keep looking down because I'm trying to get this thing built. It's a very weird feeling, folks, because I feel like I'm ignoring you. Sorry. Okay. Upside down. Alright, who wants to tell a joke? No? So, I started this new job recently, and I'm really enjoying the job. But I tell you, it is the most structured place I've worked in, I think, since I worked at the Pentagon. I mean, if I had to guess, it's right up there with working at the Pentagon. Yeah, it's been kind of fun. But one thing that you don't have is you're definitely not. It's not the informal kind of banter that you might have around a shop. So I know a lot of people think that this is, the shop is my full-time thing. It's not. Not yet, at least. Maybe someday. For right now, I do still have a day job. I'm actually a product manager, and I build lecture capture software and equipment. It's basically TiVo for the classroom. That is my product. That's what I'm responsible for. Okay, so now we've got that. I don't know how well you guys can see that. Let's give you a close-up. Why not? So, this is our assembly at this point. We've added our V wheels. All right, we've got our idlers. My guess is this is going to ride maybe something like that. I don't know. This is the Gantry. Oh, so maybe this is the... Think about that. How would this ride? Oh, either side. So the rail's going to go this way, between the two, right? And it's going to go this way. I think. We'll see. Okay, let's stop for a minute and check the chat. Anything good over here? Okay. Can you work without banter? Yeah. Yeah, you know, there's plenty of banter. It's just very polite. It's not what I'm used to. All right, so next step: attach the stepper motors. That actually looks really easy. I'm gonna need a couple stepper motors though. So, got the cabling for the stepper motors. We'll keep it together with the box. Anyway, we need 2 stepper motors. Oh yeah, by the way, they even provide fancy safety glasses, which my son promptly stomped on as quickly as he possibly could. For right now, hopefully we don't need it. So, stepper motors, these are NEMA 23s. Automation technology is what they're labeled. Automation technology KL238-251-28-4AP. So if anybody's interested. Looks like it's already got the pulleys attached. Looks like those are a press fit. And yeah, it's on there pretty well. It looks to be pretty nice. Good wiring. All right, so it looks like it's got a connection rather than having to actually wire it up yourself. So, all right, looks pretty good. So we need M5 by 16 and more of those lock nuts. M5 by 12 and 5 by 16. Let's make sure these are the right ones. 52. Yep. Okay. So some of these are button head and some of these are cap head. So you do need to pay attention to that. These, actually we're going to use all 8 of these. These are the cap head bolts. So 8 of those here, and so basically, you know, as with all of these stepper motors, and you know, most of the servo ones that I've used too, it's 4 corners. You know, you basically put bolts through the 4 corners. That's how you do it. It's a standard, right? So NEMA, the NEMA standard for that. So you can look up the design. If you wanted to add these to other systems, you can just get, you know, NEMA 23. I believe it stands for 230 millimeters, or you know, yeah, I think it's 230 millimeters for the pattern, right? But well, let's check. They included a pair of calipers, which again, Henry decided to use as a hammer, but I think they might still be fairly serviceable. Or not. Yeah, he has bent the hell out of these things. Alright, anyways, millimeters, let's see what we get. I was wrong about that, because the bolt circle is actually 47.5. That's 38 for that. I have no idea what the 23 is. I'll have to look it up. So, I was wrong. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, you guys knew that already. Alright, so blah blah blah. There's really not much to this. Put it on. Now there's one thing that they're showing. They're orienting the connector. Let's see, away from this corner. So effectively, on this one, it looks like they're going to orient the connector this way. Yes. So this is what they're showing in the picture. It's kind of like that, right? So the connector is going this way, this angle is that way. So here's the fun part. I probably would have done this before I put these standoffs on, because you got to get in this tight spot here. If I had known that that was going to be part of the build, and I guess I did, because I'm, you know, not really naive. I saw those bolt holes and I know what they were for. Yeah. Alright. Should probably do this one at a time too. At least get them started one at a time. Yeah. Those ones by the standoff. That bolt almost touched, actually it would touch it. So if you're doing this yourselves, consider that. Maybe change the order that you assemble this. Now, I mean, it's not terrible. You can just let the bolt ride back a little bit. You get it started and then you're in good shape, but it's just a little tricky to get in there. Just to give you a close up what I mean. So when you're getting to it, right, trying to get that part in there. So maybe consider putting the stepper motor on before you put these on. Just stop. Okay. Now, I probably, and make sure you got the right size hardware, or tools. I probably could have done that differently. Oh well, I knew better. I just was following their directions. The other thing that I probably could have done, which I did not do before starting this, is I probably could have watched a video on the assembly. but I didn't. Because, well, frankly, I wasn't planning on doing a live stream either. I just, off the cuff, went, hey, it's Friday night. Let's do a live stream. See what happens. See if anybody shows up. And of course, you did. And I'm grateful for that. Because you guys are awesome. So again, I'm not gronking down on this terribly hard. I'm simply snugging everything up. You can actually over tighten this stuff, and that will cause problems in the future. Not likely to loosen up on you. Right? It doesn't hurt to have it snug, but this is not Superman snug either, right? Just keep that in mind when you're building yours. You do not need A-bomb torque. I know that's where you were going with that, Quinn. We'll see if that shows up in the chat or not. Okay, one down. One to go. So let's see. Make sure we orient this the right way. That away from there. In this direction, if I remember right. Yes. Sorry, so you could actually rotate that 90 degrees and still be kind of away from this, but based on the angle, you've got a much shallower draft angle from one side than the other. I'm making the assumption that this is the direction they wanted you to go. Because in the picture, that's pretty much what they show. Everything is awesome. Oh, my kids get some fun stuff stuck in my heads. But mostly, I'm the one doing that to them. Alright, so while I'm babbling away, what do you guys have planned for the holidays? Anything good? Now, I know that not everybody celebrates every holiday. So if you don't celebrate, that's okay too. I'm not trying to call anybody out. In fact, I don't celebrate every holiday either. But if you are celebrating, what do you got planned? Anything fun? So, if you feel like it, put that in the chat. And when I get to my next stopping point, we'll check it out and we'll see what everybody says. So this one is using, just for reference, the 4mm. So the other ones were 3mm. So the button head ones were 3mm. And this is a 4mm. Now I'm going to go opposite of that. Just going to try. There we go. Kind of wish I had like the screwdriver kind of things. The other thing is my hand is a little cramped after having started 144 of these little things for kids. But it's okay. There we go. That one's snug. Snug. Alright. 2 more to go, and then we'll check on some chat. And honestly, I think we're almost done with this section. There's a lot more parts sitting here, but I think we'll have done the gantry sides. I don't know how long I'm going to keep the live stream open tonight, but I don't know how long I'll bore everybody with the live stream. How's that? But yeah. So for us, we were talking about the holidays, and we celebrate a lot around here. So our family, we get to do a lot of things. So dad's Jewish, mom's Catholic, Baha'i, so we do a little of everything. And you know, frankly, I like it that way. Not about, you know, partying or anything else. More about just kind of remembering what you're doing and why. And it's kind of nice. So yeah. Okay. I think that section is done. Go back and secure each bolt until snug. So now in the picture they show it upside down, or they show it like this. There. And that's pointing out score. Next step is drag chain? I don't know. Let's take a break for a minute. Let's take a look. What's going on in the chat? Okay. Why is there so much conduit over that one door? Yeah, that's where the that is definitely the sub panel. Finished bird and up. Message retracted. Okay, Zach. Unit 23, 2.3 inches. Oh, sweet. So somebody, see, this is why I like this. This is why I like this community, right? So I wasn't sure. You know, I said something and went, oh no, that's not right. And sure enough, somebody came up with 2.3 inches, not metric, but an imperial. Well, must be the outside, maybe. According to this, 2.213. I'm gonna go with 2.3 because I'm sure there's a tolerance, and these things have been beat to heck already. So cool. So I guess it must be referencing this outside dimension. Yeah. So oops. You guys were asking about the conduit over here. I'm not sure if I can move stuff so you can see from that angle, but yeah, that's where all the power comes in. All right, next step, drag chain. Attach drag chain bracket. Oh, okay, now I see. And I understand now why they want us looking at this side, because we are attaching this bracket. And this bracket, let's orient this the way it is in the picture. And it looks like the drag chain bracket. Oh, so belt clips, belt sleeve, maybe it's in one of the other parts here. Oh yeah, by the way, there's a lot of parts. And we were talking about bags of parts and stuff like that. So I got the Z probe. Extrusion connection bracket. I think this has got what we're looking for. Homing switches. You know, with these new stepper drivers, we could probably get rid of the homing switches at some point. And there's these new stepper drivers out there. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, if you guys follow it or not. These new drivers, they're on They're on the new Prusa 3D printer. I forget what the model is for the stepper drivers, but these drivers are smart enough to sense how much power draw is happening, and so they can figure out what the torque on the motor is, and so they can, without needing sensors, they'll know, hey, this thing has stopped, it's applying this much torque, it's at a position that you've designated as home, and so you don't need home switches. It's really, really cool if you're geeky about that kind of stuff like me. If you're not, you're sitting back and laughing at the geeky guy about getting all, crazy about not having to wire up home switches. Short drag chain bracket. 30527-05, quantity 1. Well, there's 2 in the package, so I'm guessing 1 is going to go here and 1 will go on the other end where the drag chain goes. So we'll put the other one back in its package so we don't forget it. So, this one, and according to the picture, it's going to go right here, like that. It's going to use a 10mm M4 and 2 lock nuts, M4 lock nuts. Well, we've been using the M5 ones, so we need to find our M4s. M4 by 10. 2528644. All right, so there's 4 of them in here. We need 2 right now. Would make sense. There's 2 for the other side. And then maybe there are some corresponding lock. Look at all the zip ties, cable ties, and those are M5 lock nuts. M4 lock nuts. 2. 30269 is right. Okay. So on the other side, it must do something else. Because there's only 2 in that package, not 4. All right. So are you guys bored out of your minds yet? For me, this is fun. This is challenging. It's a little challenging keeping it interesting for everybody. This is why a lot of times when we do stuff like this, we don't do live streams for it, right? Because it's much easier to play it, fast forward, although you'd miss out on the comedy of me dropping stuff everywhere, right? Most times it's easier to play it and fast forward over like a 5 or 10 minute video while narrating all the fun stuff that's happening. And it keeps people's attention a little better. But I don't know, what do you guys think? I mean, if you're watching it, first off, thank you. That's what I thought. I need a small. But presumably this is something you're interested in. Okay. Now, I am not as familiar with metric stuff. I have a question for maybe Quinn. I don't know who else is on that's really good with metric stuff. I know with Imperial bolts, there's some standards for the sizing. As far as like, if I've got 1/2 inch bolts, it's probably, is it 5/8? Or is that 3/4? It's going to be, I think it's a 5. Shoot, I can't remember. Anyways, so these are M4, and I went to a 2.5mm hex to sighten it. Now, and a 7mm wrench. So is that standard? Is there a standard for that, or is that just whatever you happen to get? So, curious about that. drag chain mount installed. Okay, let's take a quick check over here. Let's see, how's everything going? Steve, hey, playing in the background of our subordinate ministry. Shouldn't have had that popcorn before you started. Yeah, my butterfingers. Making fun of my butterfingers. So speaking of homing switches and homing processes, that is the next step, attaching the homing switches. So I just had those out. 1,000 millimeter homing switches, packaged at Inventables in Chicago. All right. Boy, this is getting fun. Starting to look at all the different baggies of hardware. Oh, all right. So micro switch quantity 3. We are only going to use one right now. So X, Y, Z, right? 3 switches, makes sense. All right. They are just tiny little homing switches. We'll pull it out and we'll take a look at it real quick. Looks like we're going to need a 14 millimeter M2 socket head screw. And then washer split lock M2 stainless. Okay. All right. So, homing switch. If you guys watched any of my CNC conversion that I did, I put homing switches on that. Slightly beefier than these, but the process is the same. There's a tiny little roller on here. This is spring loaded. Technically, I don't know how well you guys can see it, but in here is just a little detent, right? And so with homing switches, you know, with any switch like this, you're gonna have three terminals. So you have to decide on if you're gonna do normally open or normally closed, right? So when this hits, is the contact going to send a signal because it's been opened, or is it going to send a signal because it's been closed, right? So that's what homing switches do. It allows you to get pretty close, you know, fairly accurate, you know, starting points, right? So at the beginning of a cycle, I might home everything. It goes to a known good location. It says, okay, I'm at this location, and everything is relative from that point. You don't have to use homing switches. You could jog the gantry to where you want it to start and say, this right here, this is 0, right? You can do that too. I'm going to use this because this is the kind of thing that I use in my other CNC systems. My plasma cutter's that way, my mill, my lathe, they all use homing. It is something that I'm just familiar with and I'm more used to doing. So, yeah, all right. So we are attaching this to the left plate. What was the plate that I was just working on? Let's find out. The left plate. Okay, so we're still working on the same side. All right. I just looked at the picture. So we're going to attach that. Oh, okay, so I've got the switch. I need 2 of the 14 millimeter, wow, M2 by 14. That's tiny. I guess, you know, M2, 2 millimeters. Yeah. All right. M2, and then I need these. Oh, let me make sure that's the right one. Okay, yeah, that's the right part. And then I need this split lock washers. Whoa. Okay, just for grains, let's do close up. Don't lose those. In a place like this, you'll never see them again. All right, so now that I've done that, it's like being in a horror movie, right? What's that noise, you know? Oh. To do this, you'll need 2 of these and 2 of those, and oh yeah, by the way, don't sneeze. Okay. All hardware is at least accounted for now. My guess is this is going to use the tiny little wrench. We're going to test this ahead of time. Yes, okay. Right. The holes in the gantry side plate are already threaded to accept the screws, huh? So here's the fun part. Oh, here they are. It doesn't show you where to go, where to put them. But, actually, it kind of does. Because not only does it show, in the picture, it shows a close-up of this little section right here, this cross-section. But frankly, you're looking for 2 tiny little threaded holes. So, yeah. And it's orienting it this way, with the writing up. Okay. And so it wants you to do one of these, one of those, like that. There's not a whole lot of instruction on this part of it. It's basically, hey, if you ordered this thing, go ahead and install it now. If you didn't, skip this step and move on. Which I suppose is better than babbling for 10 minutes, like I've done. Okay. Now this is one of these. This is one of these areas where I've seen a lot of complaints from people about the limit switches not being effective, like not being in the right places, or offsets and things like that. You know, the thing about this is those levers bend. Right, I showed you a little bit on how it actuates. They bend. You can adjust them. Right? It's not the end of the world. You can actually make some fine adjustments with this so that it stops where you want it to stop every single time. Okay. Looks good. So now we've got our limit switch in place. Attach limit switch. Right. Next step, X carriage. Ooh, we're starting to have some fun now. All right, let's check on the chat. Hey Tom, you could watch the stream on your phone and follow the chat. Yeah. Yeah, I could. But frankly, my battery's not going to make it if I do that. So, all right, next section. This part here is the X carriage apparently. And it looks like we've got more of those rollers to put on and a stepper motor based on the picture that they provide. Now, I don't know if these instructions are on a public link. They email, or so one thing that I noticed, all right, so there's no manual. The manual's online, and so they give you a link to it in the letter that they send you with all of this fun hardware. But so I don't know if anybody's following along or what, but it's very small chunks, easily digestible, chunks of information. I'm actually pretty pleased with it so far. I probably could go a whole lot faster if I had printed material. Because I could flip through it and I'm not constantly trying to wake my phone up, but it's working out okay. So I guess for right now we'll set these aside. Where am I going to put these? Don't want to block your view. There's definitely still some parts behind me, so all right, that's fine. And we're going to be working with this guy. So as you can see, it's got the cutout here for the stepper motor. Looks like we're going to put idler wheels in the 4 spots. Ooh, it looks like 8 of them. So it looks like 2, 4, and then 2, 4, based on the picture. And then there might be some more fun stuff hidden in there. I see 2 more of those tiny little threaded holes, so I'm guessing we'll be putting the limit switch in here, all that good stuff. Okay. So where are we? This attach smooth idlers. Oh, the idlers. And what is that? Want to pay you? Oh wow, nice. So did you guys see that that floor grate that I posted on Instagram? My trampoline, my joke about the trampoline. It got installed today, and sadly I didn't get to see it. Or actually, it got installed last night. So the customer sent a crew out here to pick that thing up. It's like 350 pounds. Sent a crew out here to pick it up. It got put into this brand new home, and I just got a text from them, and actually looks like some more work. So cool. That's always fun. Okay, yeah. Sorry, rambling again. Attach smooth idlers. Anybody remember where we put those? Oh, here we go. Smooth idlers. Okay, X-Carve extrusion. Extrusion. We need some M5 by 35s. That's these guys. There are 2 of them. All right. Aluminum spacers. That's these guys. We'll need 2 of those. The pulley assembly and the nylon lock nuts. Okay. So 2 spacers. We got our wheels, we got that, we got our M5, not so, okay. So this is definitely not the kind of build that you would do without directions, at least not your first time. You know, people often joke about, I don't need directions. I'll just put it together. I don't read directions. Well, I can tell you what. I typically don't need to read directions, but I do it anyways because of stuff like this, right? This one would not be happening without directions. Yeah, so nice, pretty chamfered holes for that to go in. We go spacer, idler, and then the nuts. Let's figure out, I think that was that 3mm. Yep, alright, so we got the right tools. Let's just do one at a time. Now, there's even access from underneath, right? So this is pretty well thought out. And my initial opinion so far is, hey, they did a good job on this. Now they've had quite a while to get it right. And Butterfingers is going in. Oh, that's for those, yeah, I should have looked for that first. Let's make sure both of these are centered up. Couldn't figure out why it wouldn't go on. And then it dawned on me that we've got to make sure that the hole is not obstructed. All right. My hands are just big enough that this is a pain. But it can be done. All right. So how many of you, when you're, I like to think of this as seeing with your hands, tend to look up into space because you're imagining what it is that you're doing. So I do that all the time. I knew that, yeah. Anyways, maybe I'm just weird. In my family, we celebrate our weirdness. So, lots of celebrating going on. Okay. This is getting annoying. So, the downside of those little offsets is you can't really use the box end. But there's just enough clearance to get in there and get into the recess to hold the nut. All right. Round 2. Rinse and repeat. Okay. Guess I dropped stuff the first time too. Yeah, it would be nice to have my wife around for some of this. She has dainty fingers. Or my daughter. She's been super helpful in the shop. You guys might have seen her in some of the other videos. She is definitely, she's a tinkerer. Lately she's been on this kick. I don't know if you guys have seen these slime videos. The kids have been making their own slime. She's been on this kick. She's my home chemist at this point. Yeah. Next up is fixed V-wheels. That's those 8 wheels. Let's take a look. Column between, yep, instructions. Forward with your, oh, thank you. Okay, good. Man, alright, we're already, this live stream is already an hour into it. Can't believe people are still with me. Okay, 4 of these. Attach fixed V-wheels. So, oh, I bet we've got 4 are the fixed V-wheels and 4 are probably on the cams. Just like the other parts, right? 4 V-wheels. What do we use for this? The M525s. Oh, where did I put the M525s? M525 button head. Yep, okay. 4 of these. And some washers. Washers. And then the lock nuts. Okay, so we already know. I gotta watch that. Everybody figure out what that's about? Was I on target with that one with the like a washer between? There's 2 different bearings, like bearings pressed on both sides, and the washer keeps the races or where they're touching. But I don't know. Attach fixed wheels. So it looks like so we're going to put one here. So the tops, or at least the side that the motor's on, right, the 4 that are here, this is where we're going to put the fixed wheels. On the opposite side will be the adjustment. Alright. What's going on? Oh, I accidentally opened that. And so just like before, the pattern is you put the screw in, you put the washer, V-wheel, and then the nut. And apparently I've got an email. So I didn't look. And Quinn, I think maybe you were the one saying that the manual it's a public link on the website. Does it have an estimated time to complete the install? Does anybody know? I don't really care one way or the other. I'm just working on it tonight. I'm not going to stay out here too late. It's Friday night. Kids are already out at this point, but that means I could get some quiet time with my wife. So, although she is part of the reason why we were out here earlier doing this. She's like, hey, get that thing together so we can start making some stuff. It's one of the things that I love about my wife. Another thing that I love about my wife is the Star Wars movie, came out. And so in preparation for that, we decided we were going to have fun on our, we do a family fun night, right? So Friday nights are our family fun night. So we decided we were going to start doing we started a Star Wars marathon last weekend, the week before. And I asked her the order of the movies. And her response, she looked at me with this ridiculous, incredulous look that I'd even, dare to ask her that question, was 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Now, she could have thrown in Rogue One, 7 in there if she wanted to, but the fact that she knew, A, what I was talking about, and didn't just say, well, what do you mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? And B, that she had the order in the order that I saw the movies. It's pretty dang awesome to me. But I'm a little biased, I know. It's my wife. And I think it's friggin' awesome. Especially since she puts up with my crazy stuff. Alright. And no, she won't be watching this. I'm not just trying to get some brownie points or anything. Well, she might. She might watch it. She watches occasionally. The kids like watching the videos, especially if they're in it. They love to see themselves. The other day, Henry was watching. Here's the video that I did on cutting plastics in the mill, and he saw me, and he's like, "Two daddies!" And, he's pointing at the camera or pointing at the screen, and then pointing at me, and he just thought it was hilarious that I could be in both places. All right. Direction. You mean didn't work? It's my fingerprint. Ta-da! So, as of right now, they're showing a picture like this, and they have it looking down, and you can see rollers on that side. But we're not done yet. But wait, there's more. Adjustable V-wheels. And that is the exact same setup we did before with the Eccentric Spacers. So we've got our M5 nuts, 4 wheels, washers, the 0.2 inch spacers. Love how we've got this mix of metric and imperial. Here's our spacers. Ooh, 5x30s, right? Yeah. Everything is the same. All right, who remembers where we put the 5x30s? M530s. Bingo. We're starting to run out of some of the hardware, which is good, because, man, it's taking forever. One of those. Nah, it's not bad. And I guess, before I go any further, let's check the chat. You done by about dawn if you don't take any bathroom breaks. And then don't forget about libation breaks. Yeah. Nothing out here. I got a mini fridge sitting right there, and it is bone dry. I know. I'm slacking. What can I say? Alright, so just like before, the order is you put the screw in, shoulder to go into the hole, right? Because that's what's going to let it move around. Then you put a washer on. Oh yeah, straighten out your V-wheel. So, all right. So I was thinking the other day, I was at work, and remember I work in lecture capture and streaming and stuff like that, you know, so the kind of TiVo-ish like stuff, right? AV, audio video equipment, stuff like that. But we make a streaming device, right? So we can do live streams. I'm thinking, you know, I'm product manager of this thing. I should probably have one. Thought how cool it would be to actually be able to use one of these high-end streaming, you know, streaming hardware. But my budget's not. I definitely don't have enough Patreon supporters for that. Let's put it that way. It would be kind of neat, though. Thought about trying to see if I could finagle it for the bash. Don't know if I can do a direct stream to YouTube. They are H.264. I know now I'm getting like way geeky on you guys. Sorry, but yeah, don't know. For right now, I do all the software-based encoding. It seems to work okay. I mean, you figure I'm on point-to-point Wi-Fi from the shop to the house. I've got a cable modem at the house that I know my kids are blowing up, or my wife, you know, watching Netflix or something. But you know, since I'm using the uplink, and they're doing down, you know, it's not so bad. But I think it's to top that off, because I haven't actually finished hooking up the point-to-point system the way that I want to. I'm actually using the network over power line, you know, so the power line adapter thing, inside the house to get to a point where I could get network to the point-to-point setup that's coming out this way. So if you think about all the different layers of stuff to get out here, to get the network here, and the fact that I'm live streaming it all is pretty amazing to me. Now, I don't know what the quality is. I didn't look to see what I'm at. I don't know if I'm at 720p or 1080 or what. I think I'm at 30 frames a second. I used to live stream at 15. So most people can't tell the difference unless you're doing high motion. And that keeps some of the latency down for everybody. But I did recently upgrade the stream bandwidth. Right, so I've almost doubled the uplink stream. And if I've lost you guys on all this, that's okay. I understand. I don't blame you. Trust me. But this is why, when it comes to doing these live streams, I don't know if Steve, I don't know if you're on right now or not, Steve Feifel, one of the guys that I talk to quite a bit. Yeah, the streaming part of it can be a little tricky. All right, the adjustable portion of it is done. Next step is to put the stepper motor on, it looks like. So before we do that, we'll check in, see how this is going. Firing look cool. Yeah, so that's better. Good. Oh, good. Nothing new. Stream health seems to still be okay. All right. So yeah, this is my practice. I'm not doing 8 solid hours of streaming today, like I do at the bash. But yeah, we'll see. I'm also not in 105-degree heat. Right now, I'm kind of glancing over. The thermostat looks like it's reading 67 degrees in here. I've actually got the thermostat set to 65 Fahrenheit, but it is still a little warmer in here. I actually had the temperature cranked up when my wife and the kids were in here. For her, she tends to like it a little warmer. Attach stepper motor to the garage. So M510s, 4 M510s, and even 23. Are these threaded? Oh, they are. They're threaded. Nice. All right, stepper motor number 3. Now these stepper motors are exactly the same, right? So there is nothing in here that says that you've got to use this particular stepper motor over here or there. Now in some systems you might have stronger motors in one area than another because they need more. But in this case we don't need it. It looks like, based on the picture, we're going to put that connector this way. And so we need to go back and find those M510 socket head. Socket head cap screw M510, quantity 4, part number 25285-54. Got it. Alright, here we are. And looks like it's that size, yes. So an M5 uses a 4mm. Well, this M5 socket head is using a 4mm, but the M5 cap heads are using 3mm. Interesting. It's just the this kind of stuff that I find interesting. Sorry if you guys don't. Wow, you know what? Even with the coating on this, man, those threads are beautiful. I mean, absolutely beautiful. I'm impressed. That's nice. Oh, there's a lot of threaded stuff on here. Now that I'm looking at it. But yeah, quality so far. Just in general, fit and finish quality. This has been really nice. You know, I've fought with stuff before. Not this. This is good. Now, one thing that surprises me on this one, though, right? And maybe it's because it's got the coating on here already. There is no lock nut, no washer, your lock washer, nothing of the sort. It's just screw it in, snug it down. There may be a small gap between the motor and the carriage due to the heads. Tighten the screws in an alternating pattern. Yeah, I did all that. Good. That's it. This is where the other drag chain bracket goes, by the way. Goes on this. So, I just want to check it out. Tell you what, it's looking nice. Everything about it. All right. Drag chain bracket. And quick check. Anything cool or new over here? 1080. It's a bit soft, but clean audio. Okay. Thanks, Ben. Yeah. So that's one thing I noticed. That soft on the. Oh, I don't know. Are you talking about the audio's a bit soft? That could be because I'm about 6 or 7 feet away, so about 2 meters away from the microphone. So I'll bump the levels up a little bit. How's that? Okay. Bump the gain up a little bit. Crash it. Swooning over threads, yeah. Okay, let's see. Tell me how audio is now. I bumped audio up a little bit just to see how that is, but drag chain. Yeah, and I will be going in very, very soon. It's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. It's not too late. All right, so the other drag chain looks like it goes here, like this. And we use M410s. That's the other two M410s right here. Good. It's already threaded. Simple to do. All right. What's that, 3 millimeter? No. It's that 2.5. Yeah. Yeah, I think, Quinn, you're probably right though. I'll probably wrap up here shortly for tonight. I don't know. It's been a long night, long week. Don't have to finish this all tonight. Although, she did ask specifically about making some stuff for this weekend. So, no pressure or anything. Brand new system, something I've never done before. Haven't learned X-Carve stuff, but hey. Dude, the wife asked, I will find a way to make it happen. Right? So, yeah. Oh, the other humming switch. Where did we put our tiny little switches? Here we are. Okay, so it goes here with that tiny little hardware. M214 and the tiny little washers. Yeah, I'm definitely happy about that part. Oh, what? These get hex nut? You gotta be kidding me. Micro switch. 2 socket head, M2x14 screws. Washer, split lock, M2 stainless, and microscopic things. Okay. And there are M2 hex nuts. They're itty bitty. We'll leave it at that. That is a technical term, by the way. Itty bitty. Quinn, I think you might be right. I'm getting loopy. I don't understand why they want us to. I mean, this is threaded, and they want this nut on there. But all right, whatever. And orientation is this one. So. I guess maybe vibration on this side. I really don't know. But they provided it. I will do as they said. Okay. Now, everybody get ready, because I'm either going to be laughing or cursing up a storm. Ooh. First one went on okay. Man, well, that's all right. Do need to get something to tighten that with, because I don't think they provided a microscopic wrench. No. Okay. Oh, I turned this around so you guys can see the power. All right. Got some curved tip needle nose pliers. Okay, just enough to put some tension on there. And with that, folks, I'm going to call it a night. I really appreciate you watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't yet subscribed, there's a button somewhere down at the bottom. I want to say it's that direction, down there. Press that button, subscribe. Yeah. I'll keep you posted. I'm going to get this set up this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to do another live stream. I can't imagine torturing you folks that way twice in a weekend. But I will have, I did shoot video of making those floor grates. So I should have that, try and edit that this weekend, get that posted this weekend as well. So get a new video out for everybody. Again, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for all the support, the well wishes, the amazing amount of constructive help. It really is something special. And if you do celebrate the holidays, I hope you have a great one, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.